Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. This week we have Sandy Snelling, who's going to lead us in meditation. Then we have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we'll open it up for sharing, and we end at 10:45. Over to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Dan. Morning, everyone. It's lovely to be here with you for meditation. I woke up very early in the hours of yesterday morning and couldn't get back to sleep. And I usually take that as a sign to go and read either something from the text or the manual for teachers. And I find that that's quiet time in the morning is a really good time for any message that Jesus wants to get to me to go a lot deeper. So I was drawn to chapter 29 of the text, section 3, which is the borderlands, paragraph 1, which I want to share a bit with you now. Complexity is not of God. How could it be when all he knows is one? Nothing conflicts in oneness. How could there be complexity in him? What is there to decide? For it is only conflict that makes choice possible. The truth is simple. It is one, without an opposite. The truth makes no decisions, for there is nothing to decide between. So it got me thinking about when we've got complexity in our life, when we've got a lot of judgment going on, which it can be tiny or it can be big, it's still judgment, or we're feeling a lack of peace. We've moved away from our simple truth. We've moved away from our true essence, that we think we've separated from God, which, as we know, is impossible, really, but we have the illusion that we are separated from God. So when we move into any sort of judgment or anything's getting a little bit hectic, we're believing in good and bad, or good and evil, or right and wrong. And the Course tells us that everything is neutral. So, it's only our thoughts that are causing us this meaning of duality. It's only our story of any given thing that makes it so. So, when we get into this place, we need to just begin to question what's going on underneath this. What's happening? Who am I without this story? And when you start to peel back the layers from judgment and peel back the layers from our stories, what's there? And I found that it's resistance. The first level I got to was resistance. And that resistance is either me blocking God out, or more often than not, to my surprise, it's me withholding love. Ultimately, they're both the same thing, but, it's resistance or withholding love. And if we drop down a little bit further in our judgment story and ask again, who would we be without our story? Who would we be without this resistance? Who would we be without this withholding love that we do? And when you really start to do that, the last layer you get to is oneness, is love. All that remains is love. And this is our true essence. When we're in oneness with God, when we're in oneness with all things, and we're in oneness with love, it cannot be contained. It just wants to flow, and it leaves nothing out. It sees everything as perfection, as God sees it. So we are a drop within the ocean. We're flowing, and we're one with all things. So with this in mind, I want to move us and prepare us into meditation. So let's get ourselves comfortable. Make sure that everything is really cozy, because otherwise you'll just think about your discomfort. And if it feels appropriate, close your eyes. And then bring your awareness to your breath. And perhaps just take a couple of nice deep breaths here, just to center you a little bit. Just to bring you fully present. And now I want you to invite either Holy Spirit or Jesus or the angels or love or whatever resonates with you to come and sit with you and assist you in becoming aware of where you are blocking, where you're resisting, where you're withholding love. So just invite them in now, whoever that is. And then I want you to think about, where in your life are you resisting right now? Where are you withholding love? We're not judging, we're just observing. And it's just about being honest with ourselves. And usually it's the first thing that pops into your head. Where are you withholding love? It might be with yourself that you're withholding love. You know, you might be overly critical. You might have pain or have an illness, or you might not like yourself very much. Or perhaps it's within a relationship. It might be with your partner or a work colleague, or perhaps it's even somebody you don't really know. Are you withholding love from perhaps the homeless person you've seen on the street? Don't get drawn into the story. We're just observing. Or perhaps you're withholding love from a world situation, perhaps with something like Russia or Syria or any other myriad of things that are going on out there. Just become aware of where you're withholding love, where you're resisting, where you're blocking. Nothing is either big or small. If we have resistance or we're withholding love, then that's disturbing our peace. And all these things are just our defences at work. And now I want you to look within yourself and see that little light of love, that glimmering light. The light of love within you. And let your awareness rest on this love light. And allow a deep willingness to be open to letting love reveal itself to you. Don't have any preconceived ideas about what it's about. Let it reveal itself to you. And allow that love to begin to expand and grow. And allow it to begin to flow from you to where you have been withholding love. Let it flow in and around and through everything. Trust that love knows exactly what to do and where to go. Surrender to love's eternal wisdom. And as you feel the love flowing, become aware that it's boundless. It knows no limits. And as it flows out of you, it also flows into you. You are dancing and flowing in the oneness, in love, in God. Allow love to keep flowing and revealing itself to you. And if you find your mind wanders, smile gently. Bring your awareness back to your breath and back to the flow of love. Be the flow of love. So just gently bring your awareness back to your breath. And just ready yourself to come back into the room. And only when you're completely ready, just gently open your eyes.
We have 16 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand or use the reactions button at the bottom of the screen, and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. If you'd like to ask Sandy a question or comment with confidentiality, put your message in the chat function at the bottom of the screen, and I'll read it out. Jim, take yourself off mute.
I'm sorry to break the silence. It was so nice. But what I really got from that, Sandy, was your invitation to be the flow of love and how that works so well with the breath, to actually feel that love coming in, flowing out. And it all seems so natural to be the flow of love. Needless to say, during the meditation, a few things came up which interrupted that flow. A few annoyances. And I just returned to the breath. And returning to the breath reminded me of that lovely phrase, be the flow of love. And so it's very nice indeed. Thank you. Thanks very much, Sandy.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, I was quite surprised at how beautiful that can be. And like you say, it goes with the breath, and then sometimes that just drops away. But I was also surprised at how many little areas I was withholding love and hadn't realised that our defences are at work constantly. And I found that really so nice to be able to just let that love flow to all the areas that, you know, are subtly there, as well as the ones that you're very obvious about.
Yeah, Sandy, I found that very useful. I thought of areas where I'm withholding love in my life, and I realize when I walk around London, central London, and I see there's lots of homeless people, and I'm judging them. I'm thinking, I feel sorry for some, and I have a bag of pound notes, pound coins, and I give them to people, the homeless people, and but sometimes I judge them and think, well, what's he doing there? He should be out working. He's nothing wrong with him, and so and I'm withholding love, and um, so I'm just become aware of that, and I just gave it to Holy Spirit for healing, and hopefully when I walk around today, I'll be giving out more coins.
And more love, more flow.
There's something in chat. It says, "Thank you, dear Sandy. So lovely to go that deep, to that deep place." Jan. And Evelyn, would you like to share? Take yourself off mute.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Sandy. That was just lovely. I got quite emotional, and I've been quite emotional anyway this last while. And but I love the simplicity of just the reading, and it's just I realize my mind complicates things when there's no need, and there's no truth really, and brings in a lot of separation, and that is the problem, really. Just the ego's way of looking at things, and so easy. It's so easy to be sidetracked and led up the wrong path with the ego, and it's very good at it, and very clever, and very subtle sometimes.
Yeah.
And but just that lovely simplicity, and this is what I love about the course. Anywhere in the book that you open it or remember a phrase, it just takes me straight back to the love, what it's really about, and what there really is, and all it is that love. So I just value so much everybody's contribution, and Teresa and Dan and all of you lovely people at lovely brothers, sisters at the course, and the whole group network, worldwide. Well, everybody actually, we're all in it, but it appears as if some people are not in it. But of course, that's just the ego and the separation. And how easy it is for me to get distracted, especially this last few months. I found it very difficult. So, but thank you to you, Sandy, and everybody who comes and speaks and leads, just leads us back again to where we've never really left, love, which is all there is. So thank you so much to you and to everyone and to all of you at Miracle Network. I can't imagine life without this beautiful teaching. I just can't. So thank you.
You're so welcome. And this is it. We're all just reflecting back what the truth is. We're just reminding each other. And as you were talking, Evelyn, yes, the ego is very clever, very subtle, but the ego needs to be included in that love. So often people think it's about, oh, don't want that ego, pushing it, oh, don't want to know, I must be getting it wrong, I'm in ego thoughts again. Don't, invite it in, say thank you. I know you're trying to protect me here. Come and sit with me a while, let me show you what love is, and just gently do it. And the ego then gets quieter and quieter because it's being caught out every time, it's being seen. So remember that, this love goes everywhere, and that includes our ego. So, and I'm glad you're getting so much from it, Evelyn. It's lovely.
Thank you. Thank you what you just said, Sandy. I never thought, this last while I have certainly not thought to include the ego. But yes, gosh, I'd forgotten that it's all part of life and who we are and in our body. We do have this body for now. So thank you. That's very, very helpful. Thank you what you just said again. Thank you very much.
Who would like to share? Dennis, take yourself off mute.
Thank you, Sandy. I was reminded of parts I didn't even realise I was withholding love. And in the finish, it brought me to absolute stillness and to I'm not sure it was a lesson or part of the text. There is no love but God's, and love is all there is. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Dennis. Yes, I know when I started to think about this meditation for you today, that I was quite shocked at how many areas I was withholding love. I thought, with having done this work for so long, that, it wasn't too bad, but that's everything, you peel back those layers and you find more and more. And it's just the subtle ones, isn't it? It's just, we've got Thames Water here causing chaos for months, replacing pipes, and I realized that I was getting a bit with them, and I'm withholding love. I'm not being in a loving thought there. So in the meditation, my love went straight there. I was straight at the hole with the men, giving them love, letting, knowing they're doing their best and helping, rather than seeing it as a hindrance because there's all traffic lights everywhere, and you have to think about the route round town. So it's really subtle, isn't it, how it comes up and we don't realise. So it's so beautiful to do things like this when you notice that you know, there's a disgruntle or something. That's time to just dig a little deeper and find out what's going on here, and just let that love flow to it.
Teresa, take stuff off mute.
Thank you, Sandy. It was so peaceful, and thank you for that. I couldn't find any judgments particularly. I wasn't digging that far, but I did find a lack of trust and a fear, and I thought that's a block. and I thought, what's this lack of trust? Let me dig around here a little bit. And my brother is on my mind, and he's got a cat that's not very well, and he's taken the cat off to the vets, and the cat has got worse. And he's really worried about his cat, and he thinks the vet has done something wrong. And so I could easily get into that story of, oh, it's all disaster. What's going to happen to the cat? My brother must be so upset. And so the lack of trust was forgetting that we are one, including the cat. And so I started to remember that, and put the love around that whole situation. And yeah, it just the stories that go on all the time that can pull me back into fear and back into fear and fixing. I'm happy to realize that we have one mind, and I can move into the right mind, into, you know, the love mind, the God mind. So thank you. That was beautiful.
You're welcome. And you know, it is love. Actually doesn't judge. It accepts everything as it is, and it's only our resistance to what's going on that causes us that pain. That when we can truly be sitting in that flow of love, we can just allow everything to be as it is, knowing it's perfect. And you know, those moments that I've sat with that, and there have only been moments, I keep trying to expand that to live in it, you know, it's really quite beautiful and so freeing. And you know, it's not exhausting anymore, because the mind, when it's doing these things and we're so upset, is exhausting. So to be able to do these types of meditation where we can just keep retraining our mind to come back to our true essence, and know that love doesn't judge, and it just flows everywhere. It accepts everything and loves everything. And when we can do that, then, you know, then we're really living our true essence and being the truth. So it's good that it's brought it up for you. You know, everything is little blocks, isn't there, along the way. Thank you, Teresa.
I just wanted to jump in and share that I have a practice that when I'm walking through my day, I have a mantra. I just say, I am love. I just remember who I am. I am love. And as I do that, it sort of rewires my brain. It puts me in my right mind. And when I see people, I smile at them. And sometimes I wave. And when I go to shops, I chat with people and extend love to them. And I've got so many new friends. It's amazing. It's a very simple, beautiful thing to do. And it's very aligned with what you were talking about. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Vivian, and then Linda. Take yourself off mute, Vivian.
There we are. Many years ago, I wrote a haiku poem that actually got published in a magazine. And it is, nothing else matters but the outpouring of love each moment of time. And I use that quite a lot when I'm just walking, just to remind me.
That's beautiful, Vivian. Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Linda?
Yes, one of the things that it brought to mind was the weather. we've had all that lovely sunny time, and people moan about the heat. And then we get this colder spell and they moan about that as well. For me, I don't listen to the weather forecast. I get up in the morning, whatever the weather's like, I deal with it. And it's simple. It's so easy. But people do moan about the weather. So that's, I'm looking at that. Yeah. It's making me laugh.
Yeah, it's just what it is. You got to get on with
Yeah.
it, accept it.
That's right. And
Adjust
if
your
it's,
day to it.
yeah, when it's a day like this or raining, yeah, I can get on and do stuff indoors. And if not, if it's nice, I'll go out. Well, yeah, how lovely is that? Yeah, it did bring it up. So people saying, oh, the weather. I think, oh, bloody hell.
Yes, the British are very good at doing that.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. That was lovely. It was lovely. Thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Okay, we've come to the end of our time together. Sandy, that was beautiful. Thank you. Wonderful.
You're welcome.
And thank you all for being here and sharing this with us.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
And you all lots of love.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you,
Sandy.
Sandy.
Thank
Care.
you.
Bye.
Lots of love.
Thank you,
Thank
Sandy.
you.
Thank you.
Bless everyone.